What is going on, y'all? Earlier today, a new trailer dropped for the new Captain America movie that comes out next year. And I think there was some sort of convention going on that they played this in. I'm not too sure. I do know that like Marvel is starting to announce a bunch of new shit. They've been quiet lately because they've been like rebuilding their whole fucking franchise because they completely destroyed it after Endgame. But right now they're starting to pick it back up. It seems that Deadpool and Wolverine, it seems that test screenings are going good. So honestly, we might just see a Marvel comeback. And right now with this trailer, I am seeing some positive reactions out of it. Some people are, on Twitter, like a lot of people were fucking bullshitting and saying they were gonna boycott the movie. I'll talk about that later. But yeah, it's like mixed reactions to this trailer. And I honestly thought it was pretty good. But yeah, I'm just gonna break it down for y'all right now. Little Easter eggs, little hidden meanings that y'all might not have gotten the first try. So yeah.
Wilson, thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you for the invite, sir. I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look.
They said lose the mustache or lose the election. You and I haven't always agreed in the past, but I want to make another run at making Captain America an official military position.
And if we disagree on how to manage this situation, then what happens?
Work with me, Sam. We'll show the world a better way forward.
All right, so starting off, we have a lot to talk about. First, Sam goes into the White House apparently, and apparently it turns out that Agent Ross is running for president, right? And Sam makes a little comment saying, "Oh, I'm getting used to the new look," which I'm surprised they made. I didn't think they were gonna make that comment. If you don't know, Harrison Ford is playing General Ross, who has been in movies, Marvel movies before. Just he was played by another actor, but the thing that happened was is that that actor died, so they had to replace him with Harrison Ford, and that's why he made that little comment. It was like, "Oh, I'm getting used to the new look," and it's because it's a different motherfucker playing him. So yeah, and he usually has a mustache, but they, Harrison Ford, maybe he didn't want to grow one out or whatever, or they just made that so he could make that comment about saying either he loses a mustache or he loses the election. And that's actually really cool. The fact that General Ross is running for president or he is president. I don't know if he already is president by the time of the movie. We do know, how in Endgame it's like last time we saw Agent Ross was, I think, Civil War, I'm pretty sure. And that was pre-Endgame, and in Endgame we had a 5-year head start. Actually, no, we saw him in Infinity War. But yeah, we don't know. Maybe he became president in that time span, or maybe he didn't. Maybe he's just running now. So yeah, and it's interesting though how they're able to play that off and as just that one line. They did that with Don Cheadle as well. He wasn't War Machine from in the first Iron Man. They was some other dude, and then he came on in Iron Man 2 because they had to fire that other guy because he asked for too much money. And now this guy, and then Don Cheadle made a little line. It was like, "Yeah, I look different," or some shit like that. Another thing that we see starting off with this trailer is that Ross actually offers Sam to join the military. And as you know, in Civil War, they wanted the Avengers. Every government wanted the Avengers to be like officially like mandated by the government, right? And obviously that caused the Civil War. And Sam was on Cap's side, and Steve Rogers at the time, and they were against that. So it's interesting that they were, Sam was actually arrested in that movie by General Ross, being held in a prison by General Ross at that time. So it's interesting to see that now he's offering him again that, obviously like on a lower scale and just having Captain America just be, part of the government, right? But I feel like obviously Sam's not going to take that role. It's never worked out for Captain America working with the government. Like when, Steve worked with Shield and Winter Soldier, it turns out Shield was run by Hydra. So I definitely don't think that Sam's going to take that role up in this movie. But it's interesting to see that they brought that up again. And Sam brought up a good point, which is what the Steve Rogers was saying. It's like, oh, what if we disagree? Then what happens then? He doesn't really want to be controlled on who he saves or who he fights.
Sir, your inner circle's been compromised. Either you can't see that, or you don't want to. What if it's a trap? Global power is shifting. You're just a pawn.
In this next part, we can see that General Ross or President Ross is having some sort of conference, and I think in this conference he's it's going to be like a campaign thing, right? But in this conference you can see that Isaiah Bradley is present in the conference, and you see him crashing out. And I think like this is because of the leader. And oh, by the way, if you don't know who Isaiah Bradley is, he was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We find out he was another super soldier, just like Steve Rogers was. But instead of Steve Rogers becoming Captain America, Isaiah Bradley was used by the government just for secret missions and things like that, and he was just shoved off. But at the end of that show, he does get the recognition that he deserves with the help of Sam. So it's interesting. I didn't think he would show up in this movie, but it's cool to see him here. I think, like I said, he's being mind controlled in this scene by the leader, and I wonder if how that was, obviously that's his power. The leader's power is like mind control and everything, but I'm not too familiar, by the way. I don't know the whole extent of his powers because I'm not too familiar with the character. I just know he's a Hulk villain, and it's actually interesting that he even is in this movie himself, because he's usually a Hulk villain and not a Captain America villain. But I feel like they were just like, shit. I mean, he's a pretty interesting villain, so if they pull it off right, then he should be fine. But it's just interesting because they've done this before. They had Ant-Man. They gave Ant-Man an Iron Man villain, and Ant-Man and the Wasp, the Ghost Girl. She's usually an Ant-Man villain. She's usually an Iron Man villain, but they gave her to Ant-Man because like they gave Ant-Man a trilogy, and Ant-Man should not have a trilogy because he doesn't even have that many villains or that many storylines besides like making Ultron. But that's Hank Pym, not Scott. We as well can see this character that appeared in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it's the little army guy that Sam was friends with. In the comics, this guy actually becomes the Falcon once Captain America is Sam Wilson, and so the mantle of Captain America is passed to Sam, and then obviously there's no one to be the Falcon, so it's passed on to this one guy. And we saw him. I think he was looking at Sam's old suit, and yeah, I think he's going to become the Falcon in this movie. And as well, you can see him and Sam are both going into like this little underground lab, and either that's where the leader was made or where Red Hulk is going to be made or was made, some like secret underground tunnel shit.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
We as well can see Giancarlo Esposito's character, and I actually have no idea who he is playing. I think he's just some random original terrorist that they came up with. I don't know why they gave him such an insignificant character. Like they could have gave him anything. I actually think about it now, I'm pretty sure he is a character from the comics, but either way, he is not a big enough character for Giancarlo Esposito. But whatever. I mean, I feel like Giancarlo Esposito is good enough in an actor that he can just pull off these bullshit characters no matter what. And it is cool because he's not like some businessman like we usually see Giancarlo Esposito be. So it'll be cool seeing him like actually fight with like guns and shit like that, because he usually is like some businessman, like Stan Edgar or Gus Fring, that just like don't fight. And I think we're gonna learn that General Ross or President Ross has always had the Red Hulk inside of him. Pause. Oh my god. But like he's always had the powers of Red Hulk. And I think the leader is gonna mind control him and like bring out those powers or something like that. I think the leader is gonna be the main reason that the Red Hulk comes into fruition in this movie.
You're right. I'm not.
So to end off this little teaser, we see that Sam responds to Ross, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not fucking Steve Rogers, right?" And it is kind of cool. I really hope that, again, I feel like he is gonna have to prove himself, even though he already did that. But I feel like this will like maybe solidify him more or something. As long as they don't make it the biggest part of the movie, then that's fine, because that's literally the whole point of the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. So we see him flying, and that was cool as hell, because the set photos, or not even set photos, but like the promotional photos they've shown, it's just him without the wings, and like he looks so weird. He just looks like Steve Rock. Like, they got rid of the suit that we had, and it was perfect, the one that he had in the Falcon show. But I don't know. It does, like, we can see that he will wear that suit, and I'm guessing halfway through the movie he gets this new suit. But either way, with the wings, he does look really fucking cool, regardless. So yeah, we also end off with a little sneak peek of the Red Hulk, and it is interesting. I don't know how Sam's gonna beat him. Obviously, I feel like I'm pretty sure the Red Hulk has his weakness that normal Hulk doesn't, which is like annoying him or some shit like that. I don't know. My source is Twitter, so don't. I don't know much about Red Hulk, but besides he's General Ross and he's blah blah blah. I don't know. But yeah, it's cool seeing him. I hope the CGI is good for him, because we didn't even see his whole face. He does look really good. But I feel like I've seen complaints on Twitter about how, the CGI doesn't look good, or the color doesn't look good. And to me, I was like, okay, I mean, I wasn't expecting much. I wasn't expecting a Quentin Tarantino movie or anything like that. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I do like if they did go out with the cinematography and the colors and CGI, that would be great. But knowing Marvel, I'm not expecting that going in. I'm just expecting some nerdy ass cape shit. And yeah, honestly, final thoughts with the trailer. I think that it was pretty good. I am looking forward to the movie. I am gonna go see it. It's a Captain America movie, and I am interested in how they're gonna pull off Sam Wilson's story and Red Hulk and Leader and all that. So yeah, it is different, and yeah, as long as it's not a repeat of Falcon and Winter Soldier, we should be good. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, it helps out a ton. Sorry if this video I'm like out of it. It's because I kind of am out of it, but I really just wanted to get a video out because I haven't in a while. Do have a lot of videos planned for soon. I will record soon, so expect I usually like take a long time to post in between videos, but after this video, you should get at least 2 other videos very soon, if not more. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please sub and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video.